Two fat guys in 3D.
It's this
Fuck
cat.
you, cat.
Nope. Come down. Hey, we're two fat guys.
And we just watched Thor 2 for the several time.
The Dark World. It's Thor: The Dark World. I was like,
Yeah,
That's
that's
like,
right.
there has to be a
that's
subtitle.
right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not even Thor 2. It is
Like, I mean, great.
Thor.
We're gonna call it Thor 2, but
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, it's Thor: The Dark World.
everyone went Ashko with a funny subtitle, and everyone went, they can't do it.
Yeah, again, like our past two videos, we're a bit late on this one. But
Deal with it.
for coming out now, we're talking about the Blu-ray release of
Yes,
Thor 2.
The Blu-ray release Thor 2 is great features. Which there actually are great features.
Yes. Yeah, Thor 2's great. Fun fact. This is the second of the Phase 2 movies to come out, and just as solid. Really liked Iron Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
Really liked Thor 2.
I think I like this one more than Iron Man 3. I feel like this one has fewer moments where I'm like, ugh. But there ain't worth that many.
I don't remember any moments in Iron Man 3 where I was like, ugh.
I don't remember them right now, but I feel like there are a few moments where I was just like...
But they were there, I'm sure.
No, but Iron Man 3 was good. I mean, we talked about Iron Man 3.
But Thor 2 is very good. Very solid.
Which is surprising, because, like, as good as Thor is, Thor was, like, either that or The Incredible Hulk was my least favorite. But I like The Incredible Hulk, so... like,
yeah, again, it's of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Of the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
like, what's the shittiest Pixar movie?
Yeah,
Cars 2.
Thor in my first round was my least favorite. But this one, I was like, holy, this is... I mean, I still have a lot of hope for Captain America, but this one went in Guardians, so, man...
God, I can't wait.
This one, it was great. So, starts off with another nice little narration prologue by Odin. This time it's Thor's grandfather's ancient enemy who's going to come back. So in the next one, I imagine his great-grandfather's enemy is going to come back, and so on and so forth.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. Why bring up a good thing?
Yeah, so we have Chris Eccleston as Malekith.
The accursed or something.
Yeah, some comic
some
booky,
qualifier, yeah.
Thing who doesn't do much. I mean, he's as far as villains go, he's kind of one note, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
I don't care.
I'm guessing they liked his accent because I'm like, it feels odd. Like, why bring in Chris Eccleston? Like, he's in pretty heavy makeup. He doesn't say a whole lot. I think he's
in heavy makeup, but it's still very clearly his face. Like, it's a lot of like pale whites, but
as little as he does,
he has a distinctive elven face.
But since he doesn't really have a lot of range to the character, there's not really a lot of arc. I feel like you could have just thrown any schmuck for a lot less in there. Like, granted, I'm glad they didn't.
I don't think Chris Eccleston's pulling in.
He's pulling in more than someone whose name I've never heard of before. Like, you can find a British actor who's been on, I don't know, random insert British show here. Just edit. I'm going to hold it in my mouth and you just edit it in.
I'm not going to edit it in.
Now I look like an idiot. The first time ever.
Yep.
In my life of looking suave and debonair.
But partially maybe because it was Chris Eccleston, like, I didn't care that it seemed one note. Like, he was a committed villain, like he had a cause, he had a reason.
Plus, it was, well, it wasn't, I don't know if it was better, but it was, even though there's not anything behind it either, but it's certainly better than, let's say, Star Trek, which I hate the villain's motivation, the remake.
Oh, okay.
With the Rami is like, my wife died, so therefore I will destroy every planet in the universe. And, like, he doesn't...
I mean, it was his whole race died. It wasn't...
They don't build it very well. I think he's a poorly motivated and terribly acted because it's Eric Bana villain. But regardless, like this guy is similarly his motivation is just to destroy. It's not try to save my people.
It's to bring about darkness.
Yeah, like granted, but his people came from darkness, so maybe they flourish. But whatever. I'm going to destroy everything.
Insert comic book reason.
Yeah, I'm going to destroy everything. So that fell a little flat. But there's a lot of other stuff for all the heroes to do, so you didn't really need a complex villain journey.
That's the thing.
Also, because Loki was still around, like, he kind of had a villain's journey that made up for the lack of a villain's journey of the villain.
It was a villain's journey.
Well, I mean, he had villain stuff. So, like,
yeah.
Screen time that you have to dedicate to, okay, Loki's doing things, and also, like... on top of all the heroes and the humans and the sidekick characters, like there's a certain time you're gonna run out of film, so you can't really give, Malekith 40 minutes.
Yeah, this is definitely a movie that is more character driven than plot driven. But it's great because all of the characters are fun.
Yes.
Like, you are invested, at least in an entertainment value reason, in these characters. Because, all the humans are fun. Mm-hmm. Dr. Selvig having gone crazy. Kat Dennings as Darcy is fantastic. We get a little bit of Chris O'Dowd this time around.
Which I forgot. Like, before when we started up, like, the season, I was like, oh man, I forgot Chris O'Dowd is in a couple scenes of this.
Yeah.
And he needs to be in more. Like, that's just a fact.
I thought he was going to blow up more after Bridesmaids.
I didn't see Bridesmaids to this day.
Yeah, he's the romantic lead. He's the romantic lead of Bridesmaids, but it...
Yeah, it's Bridesmaids, so it's hilarious.
It's very funny. So I was...
You know, after Gulliver's Travels, you didn't think Gulliver's Travels was going to be his big break?
I did not see it, so maybe.
Chris O'Dowd is delightful, though.
Yeah, so he was really great. And then all the Asgardians, Sif and the Warriors 3, Odin, Frigga, all coming to the table.
Yeah, TV's Chuck replaced TV Chuck's replacement when they couldn't get TV's Chuck for the first movie.
Yep. Yeah. I believe you said all that correctly.
Well, it's all in there. The sentiment's certainly correct. And Loki, kind of the continuation of Loki's character from Thor and Avengers. Alright, just because we're really playing this video on, we're sort of streaming consciousing this bitch. Here's a thought. Okay, so they're escaping Asgard through this whole big plan where, they keep stripping off the Warriors 3 one by one to stay behind and, hold some particular part of the plan.
Yes.
And TV's Chuck, whatever his name is, whatever, his job, they're being chased by another one of those boats, so he, jumps on the boat and, knocks out all the people, immediately. It takes him, 3 seconds. He's still right by the other boat. You could have just sailed over and rejoined Thor and Loki, and therefore having another warrior on your side. Instead, it's good luck! I'm gonna sit around and not be back in the film again.
Yeah.
And also, what? I'm not going to make the after the credits scene?
It wouldn't be fair to the other Warriors 3 if he got to go on the journey.
But he's TV's Chuck.
He is TV's Chuck. But the other guy's the Punisher, Warzone.
Yeah, let's watch our Punisher videos again. Let's see how we feel about Punisher Warzone in the hierarchy. I'll give you a hint. It's last.
Yeah.
0 naked praying.
Mm-hmm.
0 wacky sweet mates or floor mates.
Yeah.
So,
man, yeah.
So, yeah, tell me about Punisher Warzone again.
There's,
But this is about Thor, not about Punisher Warzone before Sam embarrasses himself.
I couldn't tell you anything.
I know. Newman's
Someone
the
gets
Alfred.
Shot in the head at the end. I remember that.
Newman's the Alfred.
Viciously shot in the head.
So this is good Thor 2 patter.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're never really going to have a whole lot to say about these Marvel Cinematic Universe movies just because...
Damn, they're good.
Yeah, they're really good. They're completely solid. Early reviews for this were saying a couple of the negative things that I saw were that it seemed very direction by committee. That it was very...
sequency?
Yeah, sequency, and there wasn't any personal touch to it. And while I get that, I mean, especially when compared to Favreau for Iron Man and
Joe Johnston for Captain America.
Absolutely, I'm even the first Kenneth Branagh for the first Thor movie.
Mm-hmm.
While I understand that sentiment, I don't necessarily think it detracts from the movie because everything is a little, by committee, everyone's doing all these things, but it's all meshing together really well.
Plus, Joss Whedon showed up, saved a couple
scenes.
Yeah,
Joss Whedon, is steering this ship, and it is a huge collaboration. But I think they're really pulling it off.
I wonder, and I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think anyone's there yet. But I'm wondering if we're going to hit a point with the Thor movies where we get Loki fatigue. I know Loki is the big main villain. It'd be getting Joker fatigue on a Batman movie.
Yeah.
But at a certain point. This again, I think we were missing sort of a step. Since they have him replace Odin at the end of this one, spoilers, I feel like we're missing... Because you're going to have to address that in the next movie. You can't just, let a movie... unless they say it completely on Earth, which I think they should. Mm-hmm. I think they should do a movie completely on Earth, Thor, next. Unless they do that, if you go back to Asgard at all, you're going to have to address it. You can't just, let a movie go by with the audience knowing that Odin has been replaced by Loki, so therefore Loki's going to once again be the centerpiece villain. Yeah. And even though he wasn't the centerpiece villain in this one, he was constant.
He was important.
Yeah, he was a constant element in it, and like they had the brief moment where I was like, okay, well, he's going to redeem himself in this film, and then and then maybe down the road he's clearly going to come back. Like there's no thought of him being dead. Like, well, he's coming back. He could have faked it just to escape, but he doesn't have to be a direct adversary right away. But they threw him in, and I'm like, I'm a little nervous. We're going to get a little Loki fatigue.
I think. Oh, sorry. Because just Thor and Loki are so connected. I mean, obviously they're brothers. They're like their stories kind of go hand in hand. I think we may get Thor fatigue before we get Loki fatigue.
I don't know. I don't know what you're going to tell me about Thor and Loki's relationship anymore, and I don't know what you're going to tell me about Loki anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
like I think that's why I really think Thor needs to spend a whole movie on Earth fighting some type of enemy there. Like even if you want to pull from Norse mythology coming down to Earth, just make it not Loki, not Asgard. Just give him a movie to sort of breathe and explore some new territory.
Which, though, Thor not dealing with Loki might be what the Avengers movies then become. I mean, I think they're slowly going to start phasing out a lot of these, I guess, the Phase 1 heroes for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, they're not, Robert Downey Jr. is not going to stick around forever. Mm-hmm. And eventually these actors are going to move on, but with Disney and Marvel backing all this stuff, they're going to want their universe to keep going, and I think and they have a huge pool of heroes to pull from. So I think we're going to start to see heroes phased out as opposed to
getting fatigued,
or just instead of replacing actors.
Yeah, well, they're doing a Thor 3. We know that for a fact. So I still stand by a point of what the third Thor movie should be. Like depending on what Avengers does with them as a character, which I don't think they're going to be able to do enough of them as a character because you would detract from being an Avengers movie. It would be a Thor movie. Yeah, and you're adding even more characters. Plus, I am. If just deluding myself, if not like actually confident that they're going to do Civil War for Avengers 3, which I think will be their big send-off. Like, okay, they definitely have Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and all them for Avengers 3, so they got to make it a big one. They got to make sure it counts because you might not get them back. And, I mean, you need Iron Man and Captain America for that story.
Yeah, you kind of do.
And especially with these Netflix series and Phase 3, like, starting with Ant-Man, like, you're introducing a lot of heroes, and I think with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., hopefully you have enough.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is just bringing through Deathlock, and
hopefully you have enough of these small characters that then, like, when you do Civil War, you can show me a scene of 40 guys fighting each other, and even like they're not all huge major stars, but like if you keep up on the whole cinematic universe like we do, like, oh shit, there's that guy from the show, and he's this guy, and there's the Great Lakes Avengers, and Luke Cage shows up, and I think it's going to be... Because that's what you need for Civil War. That was the crazy thing. It's just these huge splash pages of these giant fights with all these heroes that you know. And so I don't know how the story started, but that's what I hope happens with Avengers 3.
I want to talk, before we run out of time, I want to talk a little bit about the after-credit scene.
Yes. Oh, the mid-credit scene or the after-credit scene?
The mid-credit scene.
Okay.
Yes, the after-credit scene is just, hey, Thor's back.
Well,
yes,
first off, that's terrible. But the thing chasing the birds, a couple things. I was really sad that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't have like them tracking that down.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, it's the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're having a big
crossover,
like the Thor episode, which is dealing with the events of Thor, and it was like, oh, we found this thing from when the ship crashed, or we're cleaning up. Mm-hmm. And then I was really hoping it was going to be the giant monster just running loose in London.
Which I can understand the effects of that would be.
Oh no, it'd be a nightmare.
But that was a fun little snippet. I really don't care about them coming back. Like, do we need to see Thor come back? Like, we know he comes back for Jane. Like, calm down, people.
Maybe because he didn't the first time.
Maybe
it's just like, hey, he's gonna come back this time. Like, otherwise the movie's ending the exact same way that the first one did.
Yeah, with Odin turning into Loki, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so mid-credit scene with the Collector.
Yes, the Collector from Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. In a very James Gunn-looking scene.
Yeah, like cinematography is completely different.
Sets. Yeah,
it looks like a different film stock. It looks like they bought shittier film to put this on.
Like, it is a different part of the universe, which is exactly what they're going for with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, hey guys, this isn't fancy Asgard here. Like,
well, it's not. I'll be damned if it doesn't look gorgeous. The trailer,
no, it does.
Like,
absolutely.
We're not going to go into this right now because we could do probably an hour on that trailer.
Yeah.
But this scene itself is pretty, like, beaten in and worn down and little lowbrow for the rest of the
Yeah, especially because it's the Collector, and it's like his vault. It's like this dark, shitty little.
Yeah, you got like a bunch of like creatures.
And I say shitty, and like it's intentionally so, I believe, and that's how it's supposed to look. And I really am looking forward to that. Benicio del Toro being super creepy,
super eccentric and weird and creepy. And
whatever other actors. Yeah, then you have the two Asgardians in there, just looking like they do not belong. Mm-hmm. And then they mentioned the Infinity Stones, which building again on the Thanos stuff. Which I don't know when they're going to do that. I mean, probably Avengers 3, but I agree with you. That'd be really great to see Civil War then. But
here's what it is. They don't have to do like Thanos might be dealt with like. There's a lot of space properties they could do. Like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's true. Yeah, it might not be Avengers thing. It might be Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because from what I understand, everything Guardians of the Galaxy, like they're all Thanos generals. It's a pretty Thanos heavy movie, even though he's not directly.
Maybe that's what Thor 3 is.
It's like I wouldn't mind Thor 3. Like that would be different. Like going out and as long as it's not another like I'm on Asgard. I'm dealing with sort of leadership and threats to my family, like.
Well, I think they cut that off even with Loki taking over. Like, Thor's like, I don't want to be king. I have shit to do. Yeah. See ya. So I think he will be away from.
Yeah, you say he's still going to protect the realm, so that I'd be all right. Especially because I always say this 1,000 times, but Clayton hates when I repeat myself, so I'm going to say it again. I'm really looking forward to the casual crossover. Like, I just want so badly in, like, Thor 3 for him to be, like, fighting Thanos out in space and the Guardians swoop in and are in it for, like, 20 minutes or something. Because, you know what? If giant monsters attacking somewhere where you can get to, the other superheroes would probably show up. Like, I found it absurd that Captain America wasn't involved when the president got kidnapped. Like, the president was abducted. Like, Captain America should probably be jumping out of a plane somewhere.
From what I understand, the Captain America 2 opens with, like, just a montage of what
all the shit he's
been doing constantly, which I believe is when we're going to see him fighting Bartok the Leaper.
Oh, nice! Is it like an opening sort of thing?
Yeah, I believe so. Or that's what.
That'd be alright because that'd be kind of cool. You do that sort of Indiana Jones style. Open up like here's the end of an adventure, and then you can sort of montage through some other things to the opening credits, and then go to like him being bored with Shield and Black Widow trying to tell him to go out and bone ladies. But Thor 2 and the Collector scene, it was interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah, with the director of Thor 2 disowning it.
No, yeah, he's very displeased with that.
Not very. He just wanted it to be clear that it was not him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But just seeing it, like, seriously, I would love for Asgardians to be, even in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, like, yeah, I know we just had Asgard, but you know what? They're in space and shit's happening. Like, maybe Asgard would pay attention.
How's space? Space is good.
Cat Dennings. Very funny. So I think we've well exhausted what we have to say about Thor 2. Go see it. Especially if you're weird like our friend Ashley who hasn't seen any of the Marvel movies.
We're sorry for that. Yeah, we'll fix that.
By murdering her. Now she gets murdered.
You can't say that on a tape on the internet.
Just can't edit it because you just refuse to.
Next up, coming up real soon. Maybe sooner than I think.
Maybe sooner than we post this video because we're lazy.
300.
Rise of an Empire.
Rise of an Empire. Well, I guess that's not next on the Marvel.
That's not next on Marvel. Next on Marvel is Captain America.
Yeah, next on the
Winter
Marvel
Soldier.
Captain America. Yeah, we're behind on... that'll be for DC, and then...
What's for DC?
I, Frankenstein... 300.
300, okay.
And then I, Frankenstein, which we did not realize was a...
Dark Horse, right.
A Dark Horse thing, so we'll
wrap
that up at some point.
Mm-hmm. All right, we started a half hour. It's like, how long is this video gone?
Yeah, it's 50 minutes. Yeah.
No one needs that much Two Fat Guys.
All right, so that is it.
And that's my mama. God damn it. That's not copyrighted. I checked.
Maybe it should be. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it.
You're right. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it. I win.
Words.
Semantics.